In the early morning of April the 14th, 1912, at around 2 a.m., a tragic event occurred in which more than 1,500 people lost their lives. Yes, this tragedy was the sinking of the Titanic after it struck an iceberg in the Atlantic Ocean. Only 705 people survived. Today, however, we are not going to talk about the sinking of the Titanic itself, but rather about one of the survivors whose story of survival was truly extraordinary. Charles John Joughin was the chief baker aboard the RMS Titanic. Born on August 3, 1878, he was a British-American citizen. His fateful final voyage began in April 1912, when the Titanic set sail on its ill-fated journey across the Atlantic. When the Titanic struck the iceberg on the night of April 14th, Joughin had just finished his work and was resting in his cabin. Awakened by the impact and the commotion, he quickly realized the seriousness of the situation. Without hesitation, he instructed his team to carry loaves of bread to the lifeboats for use as emergency provisions. Unlike many others, Joughin stayed behind on the ship, helping passengers reach safety and load into the lifeboats. Around 50 minutes after the collision, he reached the ship's boat deck. Although he was assigned as the captain of lifeboat number 10, he never boarded it. That lifeboat was eventually rowed away by 2 sailors and a steward. Joughin remained aboard the Titanic until the very end. When the ship was completely going under, he jumped into the freezing Atlantic waters. Remarkably, he survived in the icy sea for nearly 2 hours, far longer than most. According to his own account, Joughin believed that the alcohol he had consumed helped raise his body temperature and made him more resistant to the cold. Eventually, he found an overturned lifeboat. Although there was no room for him to climb aboard, he held onto the side and floated along with it. Later, he was pulled into another lifeboat where he finally found safety. Joughin survived the Titanic disaster and went down in history as one of the last people to leave the ship, and among the very few to survive such a long time in the freezing Atlantic waters. His story remains one of the most extraordinary survival tales of the Titanic tragedy. Okay, I shared this story in a light and simple way, but what started with smiles ended with a few tears. By the way, this is a brand new channel, and I'll be sharing more stories like this regularly. So if you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit like and subscribe.